In this topic, we'll be dealing with rotation. Okay, but to be more specific, we'll be dealing with clockwise rotation through 180 degrees. So clockwise rotation through 180 degrees. So this is our clockwise rotation. A clockwise rotation through 180 degrees can also be said to be equivalent to an anticlockwise rotation through 180 degrees. Or let me put it here next way. This is also equivalent to anti-clockwise rotation through 180 degrees. Okay, so for our purposes, we'll be working with graph paper so that you can see how this works out. All right, and also we can do it algebraically. So let me bring out a graph paper. Now, to be successful in this topic, you will need your geometric set, you will need a pencil. Okay, your geometric set should be comprised of the following equipments, or the equipments that you will be using for this one here will be your compass with your pencil attached to it. You will also need your ruler. Okay, so those are the things. So ensure that you have your geometric set with you. So let me put our ruler, our compass with its pencil. Okay, so those are the things what we will be using for this. So let's do our rotation through 180 degrees for this purpose. Okay, so let's see. We take now, and we will be working this algebraically. So let's use a triangle, and so first we'll do it algebraically, and then we're gonna do it graphically and see how that looks. Okay, so consider a triangle. Consider a triangle, and triangle could be abbreviated by the symbol triangle. Okay, with vertices. And what are vertices? The points where the lines intersect or they meet. All right, and the points that we are going to be using, say, so as to stay consistent, we're going to be using -3, 3, -2, 1, and -1 and 4 respectively. Okay, so triangle, and let's give it a label to a triangle A, B, C. And the mere fact I say here respectively, this word here means that the first information given pertains to A, the second information pertains to B, the third information pertains to C. Okay, very important, the word respectively. Now we will find the image of triangle ABC under a clockwise rotation. Just remember, I could have said anti-clockwise rotation of 180 degrees, which also means clockwise rotation of 180 degrees about the origin. Very important. All right, so those are the key things that we need to keep track of. Now, first thing you need to do, state the facts given to you. What are the facts? Well, we have triangle, so this is our solution. I want you to do it this way. Triangle A, B, C. All right, and we will be stating the equation right away. So you state what is the trend, what is the equation, how is the concept coming about. So you will be using the rotation of 0 to -180. I put the symbol degrees, all right, such that xy, the point, will be mapped, or it will go to negative x, negative y. What we are doing, we are simply negating the points, making them opposite in value. All right, so in other words, here what we just did, let me put this in red, we have negated, and negated simply means makes them opposite, or made negative of its value. So if the value is positive, it becomes negative. If the value is negative, it becomes positive. All right, so remember, those are the points. Now, so for us to do this now algebraically now, or just going straight to the point, to the values, we get now that the rotation of our first point here, okay, for first point, which was negative 3 and 5, so we put rotation 0, negative 180 degrees, such that A is negative 5 and 3. That will go to point A prime, or A complement, which means the point, the image of A become 5 and negative 3. Notice this is telling me make the value of x negative its value, make the value of y its negative value. If it's negative 5, then it becomes positive. If it's positive 5, positive 3, it becomes negative. In other words, if the value is negative, it becomes positive. If the value is positive, it becomes negative. Once it's a clockwise rotation or anti-clockwise rotation through 180 degrees about the origin. All right, so we go to the second point, point 2. We get that the 0 to the negative 180 degrees, which tells you what direction it's going, is such that the point B, which is negative 2 and 1, will go then to B prime 2 and negative 1. That is our point. And then our third point, rotation 0, negative 180 degrees, is such that the point C, which is negative 1 and 4, will then go to C prime, which is then 1 and negative 4. Now that is our rotation of 180 degrees clockwise or anti-clockwise through the origin, right? So once you have done this, I want to see that you state it, that that's the value. So you're going to use these words, hence, or you may say therefore, hence the image of the coordinates of triangle ABC are such that A prime is 5 and negative 3, B prime, I put a comma because that's grammar, comes 2 negative 1, and C prime is 1 negative 4. Okay, so that is how you find the clockwise rotation through 180 degrees. So we will not be doing this graphically because this one here is too easy, and then that will not show much the effect. We'll take some other problems which are much more difficult for us to work out this way, and then we can see the image. Just remember that all what we have done here is that we have had our coordinate plane. Here is a point. Okay, so let's be more with these points. So let me bring out these points. We have here 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are negative, these are positive, positive, positive. So our value, negative 5 and 3, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 5 and 3, 1, 2, 3. Therefore, this is point A. Point B now, which is negative 2 and 1, that would then be right here, which is then point B. And point C would be negative 1 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, which would then be right about here, point C. So all what has done now is that you have 5 now, 5 and negative 3. 1 2 3 4 5 and negative 3, 3 to the bottom, that is A prime. Then B prime will be 2 and negative 1, and then C prime will be 1 and negative 4, 3 4, and this will be C prime. So you have your image here, you have your original object here. So this has gone 180 degrees turn, and this could be said to have gone clockwise or anti-clockwise, okay, to 180 degrees to the origin. So for this one here is very straightforward. Just remember, you just negate all the points, all right, to get that point there. Okay, so we will do the graph for this one here likewise. So let me bring out a graph paper here. I will be folding my graph paper in half because I believe those values could fit here. Okay, so I have x values and I have y values. And how do I get my graph now? I come and I start to do my labeling. So again, like I said, you will need your ruler, you will need a pencil. All right, so I want to draw my line here. That's visible. Okay, this is the point. Since it's not that visible, I believe I will be using my pen instead of my pencil, since it's not that visible. All right, so let me use the pen. We shouldn't be using pen, but for this reason I'm going to be using it for the sake that for it to be more visible. Okay, so in your case I don't want to see anyone using pencil. Okay, so we have here our values. X's will be -5 to +5, so we have x's here, y's will be 4 and 4, so we do our ruler. And we make sure we set that ruler in alignment. Okay, so we have here 1 2 3 4 5, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, 1 2 3 4 5, -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5. We put a little arrows to show that they continue infinitely, but this is the space we will be working with. So let's start plotting our plot points. Our first point, let's go up to the top. Our first point is -5 and 3. So we count on the x values, -5 and +3. So that's, we bring it up here. We have -5 and +3, which would then be right here. Okay, and then we go -2 and 1, which is right here, and -1 and 4, which is right here. Okay, so those are the 3 points for our triangle. So now, since you have marked the points, you will join them. I believe I will be using my red pen to join them. Okay, so it's more visible and we can differentiate between them. So those are 3 points. Remember, we will need to label them also, so I will be labeling them in blue. -5 and 3 is A, -2 and 1 is B, -1 and 4 is C. Okay, now after we have plotted, we got these values here, so I'm going to draw those values here and see our triangle how they look. So our first point was 5 and -3, 5 and -3, okay, 2 and -1, 1 and -4. So this is C prime, this is B prime, and this is A prime. I'm going to join them in red again so that we can see our object. Remember, you should be using pencil. I am only using red pen for the sake that it is not visible, okay, with pencil while I'm recording. So therefore that is our object, and I want you to be able to draw this diagram so that when we do another activity you could refer back to this. So let me write this down. Rotation. So this is a clockwise, okay, or called also anti-clockwise rotation through 180 degrees about the origin. And our equation for this will be this one here. So make sure you do this diagram so you can refer it back. Use rotation, and this is the algebraic part with 180 degrees. This is our angle, okay, rules such that the points will be mapped to their negative value. Okay, remember, just the negative value. You're not swapping them, you just negate them, making them negative or opposite of each other.